Hi guys, it's Chrissie and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're going to be building another home for my rebuild Willow Creek project for the save file I'm working on. And this house is actually for the Goth family. I decided that I'm not going to even try and fix their original house. I'm just going to build them a completely new one, and since I do have a little bit of a theme in mind for all of the neighborhoods in these worlds, I did want their house to actually fit in with the theme of this neighborhood as well. So yeah, Willow Creek is basically, if you guys haven't watched any of my other rebuilding Willow Creek builds and you haven't heard me mention this before, I'm theming kind of all of the little neighborhoods within the different worlds to have a certain architectural theme, I guess. And obviously all of these homes are just inspired by that architectural style. I'm not making them like completely exact or anything like that. And for Willow Creek, all of the homes in Willow Creek are either going to be really suburban, like really normal suburban, like basically all of the builds I do on my channel normally, and they're also going to be colonial styled homes. So the two the upper left hand corner neighborhood where the Goth family lives, and the two like really big lots in Willow Creek are all going to be colonial styled homes, and then the other two neighborhoods are going to be more suburban, and then we obviously have the like community area at the bottom of Willow Creek, and they're kind of like, I think like New Orleans kind of inspired like buildings, I guess. But yeah, if you guys could hear the stupid neighbor's dog barking in the background for a second there, I'm really sorry. It's really stupid and it barks at the weirdest hours and at absolutely nothing. So yeah, just ignore that if it happens again. I can't unfortunately tell the dog to be quiet because it won't listen to me. But yeah, so for this neighborhood, like I said, we're going with colonial. And I have to tell you guys that building a colonial home on a 30 by 20 lot really isn't all that easy, if I'm completely honest. Colonial homes are usually very like wide instead of long, I guess, or whatever. They're usually very, I don't know, yeah, like wide, I guess. And for like this lot where it's only a 30 by 20, you can't really make the home all that wide. So figuring out how to make the outside look good while still kind of being able to work with the inside for the layout was really hard. So I did cut out doing the layout. It's very symmetrical inside, obviously, since colonial homes tend to be very symmetrical, especially from the outside. But making the inside of those kinds of homes look good is a real struggle when it comes to doing the layout. But I think I made it work. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house. So there's a half bathroom downstairs right by the front door. And then upstairs we have obviously all 3 bedrooms, the master ensuite, and then a little family bathroom for Cassandra and Alexander to share. So yeah, it's not all that big of a home, I guess. It's not really like super big or anything, but I didn't want to move the family to another lot. I am doing that for a few of the Sims in my save file, mainly for like San Myshuno especially. I know I moved a few of them around to different apartments and stuff like that, but I really don't want to move too many of the Sims around unless I think they would, absolutely suit a different part of the world, much better than the one that they currently live in, if that makes any sense. But I'm not moving any of the families to different worlds or anything like that. I'm not doing that, but you might, once whenever I get this thing done, whenever I get my save file actually done, and you guys end up downloading it, you might find a few of the like townies living in different, different places, but still within the same world, if that makes sense. But yeah, we've moved on to the inside, and as you guys can see, just by me picking out the like couches for the living room, I did go for a very like red color scheme for this house. Most of the house is very like black and white, especially like the walls and flooring and stuff like that. But then you have this really like bright pops of red everywhere, since I figured, I do still want to keep a little bit of the, iconic Mortimer and Bella kind of color scheme that they had going on with their original house, while still lightening it up a little bit, since their original house was really depressing. And that comes from someone that absolutely loves black. I love the color black, I love building with it, I love wearing it. I absolutely love black, but their old house was really depressing. But yeah, so I did want to have their house be a little bit brighter, I guess, a little bit easier on the eyes than that horrible Victorian black and brown thing that they lived in. No offense to whoever built it at EA, but like, yikes, it's just, I didn't even attempt to fix it, I just bulldozed it right off the bat, and that should tell you how bad it really is. If I don't even try to fix it. But yeah, so their new home, obviously lots of blacks, lots of whites, and then some reds in there as well. And I did use a lot of the Get Famous items, since they do come in matching color swatches, which is really great. And they also did fit with the whole idea that I had of Bella in my head. I figured she would like things like this, with lots of silver and gold and, you know, just over the topness, I guess. Whenever I think of Bella, I do think of a little bit over the top, but still like a more classical style, but a little bit, yeah, a little bit over the top, I guess. It's definitely something that I think of when I think of Bella. And I really like the way this house turned out. The living room is right in the middle between the kitchen and the dining room, so you do have to walk through the living room to get to the dining room from the kitchen. But you can also walk around the back, so where that staircase is, you guys will see that little, yeah, this little room with the laundry machines. I end up adding this, so you can walk either around the back or through the living room. But I also add some like island counters in the kitchen, so your Sims can just sit at the island in the middle of the kitchen if they want to. And I do have to mention, while I'm working on it right now, it's really bothering me, but I had to put the counters in front of the windows for this build. I'm really sorry about that. I absolutely hate it. That's one thing about this build that I actually hate. But the way the layout turned out, I couldn't find anywhere else to put the kitchen that wouldn't have those really big windows. And I don't want to swap out the windows, because then the house wouldn't look as symmetrical and it wouldn't, you know, match the other side. So yeah, I normally hate doing this in my builds, and I still hate it, but I just had to do it. I just had to put the counters and stuff in front of the like big windows, and I'm really sorry, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that. And for the kitchen, for the island, you guys will see that a few of the bar stools, I think 2 or 3 of the bar stools, are kind of at an angle. They're not actually snapped to the island counter, so your Sims won't be able to sit there and eat, since I think the Sims might still be able to sit on the like bar stools, but they won't be able to use the island counter with it, if that makes any sense. But I just did that to make it look a little bit more realistic, you know, like the one in front of the laptop and the one in front of that little notebook has been sat in, and they haven't put it back, you know, exactly like it was. But if you want to have all 5 of those stools be functional, you can just go into build mode, snap them to the counter, and it will work just fine. You know, that's a really easy thing to do if you want them all to be functional. But I figured, you know, they probably wouldn't eat like breakfast or dinner together all that much. And if they did have dinner together, Bella would probably make them have it in like the formal dining room. They wouldn't like sit in the kitchen and eat dinner. So yeah, that is something that I thought about whilst building this. And yeah, I think this house really turned out great. I actually, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I really like the way this house turned out. It's definitely, I don't know, it's definitely different than what I normally build. Normally I build a little bit more, I guess, family oriented homes, especially when I'm building like actual family homes like this one is. I normally build more family oriented homes, but this one I just had a lot of fun kind of theming the whole build and having all of the rooms have this very like cohesive color scheme with the black, white and red. And then the kids' rooms have their own little color schemes, still with black and white, but Cassandra's room has a little bit more of a pink and purple kind of color theme. and then Alexander's room has a little bit more of a blue color theme. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a difference. You know, since they are the kids, they probably have a little bit different of a room than their parents have with this bright red. And you guys will notice that in the hallway upstairs, I did put in some cat trees and stuff. Now, obviously, the base game, Goth family don't have any pets, but for my save file, I've decided to go through and give a few of the like Sims and families some pets that I think would have a pet, you know, since obviously we got cats and dogs later on. And I did think that the Goth family would have, you know, a couple of pets, and I was kind of stuck between a dog, if I wanted them to have a dog or two, or maybe like a cat. And at the end of the day, I decided on a cat. I gave them two, I think they're Burmese cats, I think. I gave them two Burmese cats called Franklin and Fiona. So yeah, they have two kitties, and I don't know, I just really like the way, I don't know, I just really like them. I really like their cats. They both have little outfits on. Franklin has a little like red, I think I put him in like a red sweater, I think. I don't know, I know he's wearing something red, a red like cat shirt or something, and then Fiona is wearing a little red cat dress. So yeah, they definitely look like Goth family pets, I guess. So they look like little feline versions of Bella, I suppose, with her iconic red dress. And yeah, we've moved on to Cassandra's room. As you guys can see, the wallpaper is bright pink. And I figured that might have been more of Bella's influence. You know, maybe Bella like had this room renovated when Cassandra was born and just gave her this pink wallpaper. And Cassandra might actually really hate it, since I don't think she's the type of sim that would enjoy pink wallpaper. If I'm completely honest, I definitely think she leans more towards like the bright purples and stuff, like the keyboard that she has in her room. Maybe bright purples, darker purples, but obviously Bella won't let her change the wallpaper in her room, so she's just stuck with the baby pink wallpaper. And then Alexander has the blue room. I don't really think he minds it all too much. He's still just a child, obviously, but he's just decided, you know, just to go with it. And he has a little bit more of a, I don't know, like quirky. I don't know, I think he's a little bit more quirky than his sister is. He's really into void critters and science and all of that kind of stuff. So I really enjoyed making his room. I didn't want it to look too kid-like. I didn't want it to be too messy or anything like that, since I don't see him being a very messy kind of sim anyway. But I did want to use quite a few kids items, so I actually used that void critter battle station in his room. I normally forget about that completely. I normally forget that it's even in the game. But I decided, you know, it kind of fits with the idea of him that I had in my head, so I gave that to him. And I built this little like custom bookcase kind of thing over where his desk is going to be, with a lot of little knickknacks and a lot of books, and that little science award that came with, I think it's base game. I think that the science award is actually base game. I gave him that, and a little scouting award, since I did put him in the scouts. In my save file, he's in the scouts, and Cassandra is in the like drama after school thing. So I figured, again, I figured the drama thing in my head, I figured the drama would be more of a kind of like music club, music after school club, since she really is into music. And I figured in my head that's what it would be. It wouldn't be like drama, like theater or anything. And I really wish we had some more like after school activities for our Sims. That's something that I really miss from the Sims 3. I know we had a lot of like after school activities and stuff that I think came with the Generations pack for the Sims 3. I really wish we had more after school activities like sports clubs, and even if we couldn't go with them, even if they were just rabbit holes, I really wish we had like sports teams and maybe like art clubs and music clubs and stuff like that that our teenage Sims and child Sims could join. But who knows, maybe in the future, one day, hopefully we'll get something like that. And as you guys can see right now, I'm using some of the new like liberated rocks that came with the update that came out yesterday. I did cut that out, like all of it almost, and not all of the landscaping, but most of the landscaping, or at least some of it. I don't know, I can't even remember, but I know I cut out some of the landscaping out of this, since I did spend a lot of time just going through that new like debug menu that we got. It's not really a debug menu, it's like a liberated objects menu or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I spent a lot of time just going through that, since it's really hard to kind of find the new items when you have show hidden objects on as well. And yeah, since you can't really see what's new and what isn't. But yeah, I really like the way this house turned out with, you know, just a little bit of red on the outside with those rose bushes, and I don't know if they're even rose bushes, but with the bushes, lots of red flowers just to make it look like the Goth house. You know, it's going to be the only house on the street, I think, with red flowers, so it will stand out a little bit. But yeah, I hope you guys like how this house turned out. If you did, give the video a like, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and sticking around. And remember to turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. And yeah, I will leave a link on the screen to the playlist for all of my other builds for Willow Creek for my save file. I have them all sorted into playlists, you know, by the different worlds. So I have Rebuild Oasis Springs and Windenburg and all of those kinds of things. I have speed builds for all of them on the channel if you want to check those out. They're all like categorized in playlist, so they're really easy to find if you guys want to check that out. And I also want to mention, now I know I don't mention this all of the time in all of my videos, but I do mention it in some of them. I do have a Patreon page if you guys want to check that out. I basically started it as a way for you guys to kind of help me support the channel and help me to kind of upgrade my equipment, to make better videos for you guys, more videos for you guys, stuff like that. And through Patreon you can get some really cool like perks and stuff. But if you guys want to know more about it, my Patreon link is always in the description if you want to check it out to find out more about it. But yeah, I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye guys!